So what do you think about what Tony Adams is doing? Because I believe he founded something to do with mental health.
Oh,
What do you think about? I
I haven't
mean,
actually. I don't think I've actually seen Tony Adams stuff. I've seen Trent Alexander-Arnold do something with players that have been released. I've seen Crystal Palace recently got an aftercare program. It's not even recent. They've had it for a while, but they've really like honed in on it at the moment. They've got a full aftercare program for players that have been released. Tony Adams, I think, from his journey, I don't know much about what he's doing, but from his journey of alcoholism and he had to do rehab and stuff, and he's actually in a good place to mentor players as well, because he's been at the top level, and he's had dark moments as well. I'm lucky enough to bring David Seaman onto the channel on AFTV, and he said like I knew three different versions of Tony Adams. They were all a tremendous player, but he had his demons, but he was phenomenal throughout the whole time at Arsenal. So he can speak on fighting difficult challenges whilst still being a top athlete. So I'll have a look at what he's building and doing. But I think it's right that players are looking at doing things like this. I'm extremely lucky and grateful that I never made it to. I made it as a footballer, but I never made it to Premier League, the top flight. And I think a lot of people's goals in life is to be able to give back. And you get to a point in your life where you do so much, you might earn a certain amount of money, and then your next phase is like giving back. I've been lucky enough and super grateful that I've been able to build a career and also give back simultaneously, continuously as well at the same time as that. It's an absolute honor. And so if players that have been at the top level and had these amazing careers, they should, in my opinion, they've earned a lot of money, should find a way to give back to the next generation, because that's what it's about. If I'm being honest, my whole life and ethos is about the next people. As you grow, you should lift at the same time. So yeah, big up Tony Adams. I'll have a look at what he's doing. But yeah, it's definitely important.
Has been through it all before.
Tony Adams, I used to kick a ball about for England and Arsenal.
He's being modest. The defender was the London club's most successful captain.
It's victory for Arsenal.
Tough, passionate player, he remains unique, winning 4 top-flight league titles in 3 different decades from the 80s. There's even a statue of Tony Adams at Arsenal's ground. And he skippered England, gaining 66 caps for his country. But he was almost beaten by alcoholism. On a visit to Liverpool's non-alcohol bar and cafe, The Brink, he explains why he went for treatment almost 30 years ago.
I think I came into the programme, I had 5 houses, 2 boats and 3 cars, and my head firmly up my backside, full of fear and anxiety and stress, and I had this mask of Tony Adams, the England and Arsenal captain, and all the time I was dying inside.
have you thought about being a public speaker? I mean, have you done some of that work, going to schools and talk about your journey and talk about awareness?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, talent transfer is that. It's going to a football club every week and speaking about my journey, but also advising kids on what to expect or how to be treated as footballers, how to best way to find to get a professional contract, what to look out for, signs of anxiety, stress, and club treating you bad, and life after football, setting up businesses whilst being a footballer. So talent transfer kind of does that. I was speaking to young footballers every week, but yeah, my school invited me back once for awards evening. I did a speech there. So again, that was one of my best achievements ever, and done some pretty cool things, I must say myself. But that one was a bit more. I had all my teachers, my head teacher when I was at school in the room and listening to me, so I felt that was a good one. But yeah, I would like to do more, but the schedule is crazy, and yeah, I think schools and that would be amazing. Public speaking is kind of really my talent transfer business. That is kind of where I hone that skill of speaking in crowds. And well, I mean, you see me at AFTV as well. Sometimes I have to interview fans amongst a load of people. It's not really my opinion as the person giving it, but yeah, I feel that public speaker itch gets scratched quite a bit doing what I do at the moment.
So I want to talk. I mean, before I talk to you about your schedule, because you mentioned it before the taping that your schedule is crazy. Now I want to go into that, but before that, I want to know what does your company does for people that finish their career, because there's a life after football.
Yeah.
And some people struggle, to get into daily life without the routine of the training, the matches. So do you help people at the end of the football career?
100%, 100%. I think for the first 3 years of talent transfer was like doing the workshop, loads of players engaged and listening and focused and loving it, getting great feedback straight after. But then I'd go and you'd never see me again you wouldn't see me again, because I do, because there's the first year and the second year when you sign a scholarship deal at a club, I'll always see a club once a year. So everyone would see me, but it'd be once either when you're second year or first year. So in the first 3 years, I was like, okay, I see these people, I go away, get loads of messages, get loads of good feedback, but then I don't see them again, and I don't really know what happens with them. I kind of I put it in the hands of the organisations to sort out. So as the years went on, 5th year, 6th year, I said, look, I want to be able to do more for these players. So now we do a workshop, or I'll do a workshop. They will add me on talent transfer on Instagram, and they would ask for advice. They'd say, look, Cecil, I didn't get my contract, or which is the case in most clubs. You know when you're not going to sign a professional contract. You know in yourself. It's hard to admit because you're a young player with an ego and you believe that you're the best, you know. But you know if the club likes you or not, if you're favourite to get a contract. So nowadays the players will say to me, look, Cecil, it's not looking like I'll get a contract. What can you help me with? I really liked your workshop. What advice would you give? I'd give advice. And then more time, which has happened recently, is like, they'll say, okay, I see what you do with body doubling. I see what you do with modelling. How do I get into that? I'll give them the agencies. I'll say you need to get a portfolio, speak to a club photographer, get some headshots, put a load of people into modelling and fashion. And then also on top of that, I kind of lean into the organisations that I'm close with, PFA, LFE, which is League of Football of Education. They now have boards within the company that help players transition. So there's actually a lot of support. I just think when you're a footballer, you're so, and I can speak on it because it was me, like, you have such a high pride that you don't really want to reach out to other people, or you don't want to seek advice or seek the help. So when I was a footballer, if I'm honest, there wasn't much help for you anyway. But I was told that when I was a player, when I got released, the PFA had like £5,000 worth of funding for me to, if I want to go to higher education or do a second course. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until years after. I did my presenting course before starting at AFTV in London, the Actors Centre. It was £1,500. Ridiculous money, by the way, an intensive course. It's definitely not worth that, no offense. But I paid, but I got funding from the PFA. They paid the whole course off. If you get injured, the PFA cover it. If you want to do it, like I said, education, further education, they cover it. The PFA brought some of my equipment here. When I have like my Mac and stuff, because they're a union. They support you, but you're young. When you're a young player, you don't know that. And I'm there to give you the players the advice to say, go and reach out to them, do this, and they'll provide all that. So that is kind of more what I get to do now. I'll do more of the aftercare as well as just turning up. I wish I could do more, but it's just me. I'm a one-man band. I've got I'm spinning about 1 million plates, but what I do, I know what I do is effective because it's been recommissioned for 9 years straight. I have feedback Excel spreadsheets from all the players that have taken the workshop, and yeah, I can pat myself on the back at times and say it's been effective, it's been good. So yeah, that's kind of what talent transfer is at the moment and what's it doing. It's my baby. I'm really proud. It's like something I'm proud of. Something that doesn't get the lights and the screaming, the shouting, the noise. Not that it deserves. It was never for that. It was to give back and be a silent worker and just be there for the players. But because of the platform more now, people are kind of noticing it a bit more. But yeah, it doesn't need the eyes. It's just I think good work is being done. But I will say, players get released at every club. They're never going to solve the problem of kids having their dreams shattered, or listen, mental health is a problem, but they're never going to solve the issue of there's going to be people that are going to be mentally struggle, because there's so many kids that get taken into clubs from like primary school age. It's crazy. And like I've been to some elite clubs and they've got like A teams, B teams, C teams in youth team level. Like when you have that many kids and you only have a certain amount of contracts to be professional, there's always going to be an issue, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. It's a lot better. There's a lot more support and a lot more help. So it's going in the right direction. So yeah, and like I said, I'm glad to be a part of it. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
reassuring.
No, it's true. It's true.
God. But okay, let's talk about your heavy, crazy schedule. So talk us through what your day-to-day life is. Like, do you have like a schedule, like a diary, and you know exactly what you do? Like, tell us one day in your shoes. What does it look like?
I don't know. Listen, a lot of people. It's funny because I was out last night and I met some new people that I've got introduced to, and I was trying to explain it as well. And they were fascinated by like, yeah, the schedule. Obviously, a lot of people are busy in life. Life is a busy thing to do. Like people are juggling a lot of things. People have kids. People have a lot of things to do. But for me, yeah, I thrive off being busy. Obviously, like I said, I changed my career in COVID. I was itching to get out. I was like locked in my house. I didn't like that. So I'm always grateful to be busy, but like I don't know. Some people say I take it too far, but I don't know. I run everything myself. I don't really have recently management are trying to lock me in, but I've been doing everything for myself for ages. My taxes, my accounts, my booking of jobs, my negotiating of fees, my presenting, my company, just life management, family, helping them, financing some of them as well. So like I juggle a lot myself, but like a day in the life is always different of me. Like I like that. I don't like to be, in a routine sat in office or whatnot. So it's always different. So for today, for example, this morning I was doing a whole heap, just planning. So long story short, I've got a big event coming up. I'm turning 30 soon. I've got a big party coming up. So that is actually stressing me out more than it should be. I've got 2 party planners, but I feel like I'm doing a lot of the groundwork for that. So I was sorting all that in the morning. I have a meeting with that today. I arrived here at AFTV, which you heard I live quite far from here, so it's quite a long journey. I came here, I filmed 2 shows already, so Preview and Predicts 11. Then I came back here. You guys are here. You're in this interview now. We get to do this. Then I've got to go to a meeting straight from here in central London, come back from here, then do a TikTok live for TikTok for an hour to talk about football and the upcoming fixtures. Then I've got to fly home. I have a meeting with a company that I'm a shareholder of a football fashion company. So I have a meeting with them, sort out the plans for the launch of that. And that should be hopefully, and I've got to build, there's a room in my house, just I've got to do some, anyway, that's fine, but I'll do that later tonight. But that's the end of that day. And then tomorrow, I could just do this week, because tomorrow is, I have a pilot for Capital Extras, a radio show that they want to try with me as the main host, which would be nice. Then I can't come back here, do a video for AFTV, then fly to Central London to do the Black British Business Awards, which my first time hosting. I've worked with them quite a lot, doing interviews of the winners and the rising stars, but now I'm officially hosting the whole event. Then that will end at about, they were like, you have to stay at the after party, there's a lot of clients there. So I'll get home very late from that and then get straight back up in the morning. And we got Arsenal got a game, so I've got to work the game. Which is, listen, all these things, I am not complaining. I just making it clear that, it's a busy schedule. And we do like 6 days. I do like 6 days a week work. Sometimes it's 7, but I try and give myself a day just to lock myself in my house, because my partner says I'm a lodger. I don't actually live there. So it's busy, but it's good. It's good.
The G-Tech Community Stadium for the Unity Cup 2025. It's the first game, Jamaica versus Trinidad.
I'm going to say congratulations on all your success so far. Me as an Arsenal fan, any chance of you slowing down anytime soon?
Yes, people, the season has started, and I think this is going to be the best Premier League title race in decades. And I need to know from the fans, do they agree with that statement? And also, after the first 5 games, who's going to be standing on top of the Premier League? Let's get into this, people. Let's go.